Hey, hi. Today we'll be discussing about React, and this is the first lecture of React. So basically, I hope you guys know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So from there itself, we'll start our React journey itself. So first of all, let's just understand how React works and how JavaScript works. Okay. So first of all, I hope everyone know that. Can someone confirm? Like, can we create a web page using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? Can you create a web page using these three? Yes, we can create, right? We can create a complete application using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Correct. So now, now in JavaScript, can you create a using JavaScript? Can you create a HTML maybe element or maybe document? Can you create? Can you create HTML element? We can create HTML element, right? Using JavaScript as well. Like I hope you guys know, like uh, document dot create element using this like create element. We can create a any tag, maybe let's say p tag, right? We can create p tag using this. Correct. So that is something which is we everyone know. So now let's talk about how I React exactly, right? Like though using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you can create a web application, but how JavaScript is correct. How React is, sorry, how React is. So the choosing React is first of all around 2005. Let's just understand the story behind the React is, right? So previously, like all the people are creating HTML, CSS, and JavaScript using this. People are creating the web pages, right? Now around 2005, approximately, there the jQuery. I think you guys might heard about it. So the jQuery on a library comes, which is built on top of the JavaScript, right? Which is built on top of the JavaScript. So this is a very famous library of it. So now React and then React comes, right? And later on React comes. So React also built top of the JavaScript, but how React is, right? So to understand React, first of all, we just understand if you have the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript pages, you will see lot of lengthy code we need to write, right? Lot of lengthy code we need to write, and sometimes it might be difficult to create our application like optimize, right? Optimize it, and sometimes we need to like optimize our application so that whenever user comes in our application, then our page should be loaded at first, right? Our page should be loaded at first. User experience should be better. When you click on any element or maybe changes something on the UI, this should be reflected quickly. So all these matters are user experience, right? So to take care about user experience, developer think that we can create a library. We can create a library so that using that library, like whatever the drawbacks was there using JavaScript, so that can be solved using React or using library, right? Using library. So that's why React developer thought about it. So how basically React is, how React works. So if we take an example, like let's search. I hope you guys know Airbnb, right? Airbnb. I hope you guys know. So let's open the Airbnb page, and side by side we can let's say we can open Geek for Geeks or maybe W3 School. Okay, Geek for Geeks. Okay, let me open this Geek for Geeks. Yeah. So here you will see. Let's open any of this, right? Let me open Python. Okay. Yeah. Here you will see this is the page of this, right? And here is the web page of Airbnb. Now you will see at first when the page is loading, here is the another tab, right? If you click on this another tab, you will see the refresh of this page. The page is not refreshed, right? the page is not refreshed. You will see when you go any other pages, the page is not refreshed. The same thing if we see with this gig for gigs, you will see whenever we move any other pages, you will see our web page is rendered, right? Our application is rendered, correct? Our application is rendered. If we see for W3 school, maybe okay. W3 school also, you will see your web page is rendered, right? So when you come at first time, this page should be rendered, and when you change the tab, the page also again rendered. So this is called the single page application. This is called the single page application, which Airbnb is. Basically, Airbnb built top of the React. So here you will see how first the application is loading, right? How first the content is showing on the UI. When you change the tab as well, also the like within few seconds, maybe you got the output, right? You got the UI. So that is what the advantage of React. That is what the advantage of React. So using React, someone creates some kind of you can say some features to like maintain to optimize the rendering part. You can say what I mean rendering, the refresh of this page, right? So when you change anything of this, you will see the page is rendered, right? The page application is rendered. So that means the whole application or whole website is rendered. But when you change any pages, you will see the whole application is not rendered. Only the content, inner content is changed. Like this much of content is changed, right? So this is a feature of React. So that is why we are going to learn React. And later on, we'll talk about in detail about what are the advantage of React, basically using React, what are the features that we can build, and how React talks. That we'll talk about later. But for now, why React part, I hope like little bit is clear. We just start the why React part, but we're not clear yet. Okay. I hope it is clear, right? Okay, cool. So now if we talk about React, so there is in programming, there is a two way, right? In programming, there is a two way to write code. What are those way? Like as usual, you write the code in JavaScript. Uh, this is called imperative. What imperative is, we'll look into later. We'll talk about later in detail. But for now, let's just understand. And there is another method called declarative. So there is a two way that you can write our code in programming language, right? So what does that mean, imperative, right? First, let's just understand the imperative. Right? Imperative. Let's just understand imperative. What imperative is. So let's take an example, real life example. So let's say I give you an example. Let's say you wanted to build a home, maybe, right? You own a house, you want to build, right? So in that house, you just hired or you just give the contract to your maybe promoter, right? Promoter hota hai na? Like you guys know promoter, right? Who built the complete buildings, maybe, right? So you just give the design of, you just choose the design or give the design to your promoter. Like this is how my house should be, right? Here should be a door, and here should be like the place where you can sit, and here should be the window, and all, like what will be the color of your, window, what will be the color of your floor. All of this you will give to your promoter. Now you just tell to promoter, I need the home, right? A flat, maybe a building. You just need your own buildings, and let's say two things, that two way you can say, right? First of all, you need a buildings, and you tell that I need 3 BHK, maybe a home. right? 3 BHK you need to you need a room 3 BHK, which should be 3 BHK. Apart from this, you don't care about it. You don't care about it, right? You don't care about how this home should be building, how this house should be building. You don't care about it. Or maybe you fix the color, right? You fix the color. But apart from this, you don't care about it. Only the matter is 3 BHK flat and the color, right? So this is the first scenario. This is the first scenario. And what about the second scenario? The second scenario should be you told to your promoter, right? I need a buildings which should be content 3 BHK, which should be content some specific color, right? And the balcony should be there, maybe, right? And there should be kitchen, right? With maybe some extra features, maybe. We're not talking about right now the features, but maybe you specify here. You will see you specified each and everything. Right? There should be the door of this room should be this side, right? Let's say north side. The door of this room should be north side, and the floor should be marbled, right? Designed with marble, and the color should be specified. That means you in the condition 2, you are specifying each and everything, right? You are specifying each and everything. You specifically mentioned each and everything, but here you are not specifying the each and everything. You don't care about it, like how this building should be builded, how this room should be builded. But here you're take care about how this room should be builded, right? Each and everything, like which kind of like mystery maybe or engineer should be working on this, right? All of this you should take care about it. But in the scenario 1, you are not take care about it. So in the scenario 1, where you will not take care about it, or you will not take care about it, this is the one way of write the coding in programming language. And another one is, this is the another way of writing the code in programming language, right? So as we are talking about imperative, so where you mention each and everything, this is called imperative. That means you are declaring, you mention each and every point of your homes. You take care about how this room should be built, right? How this should be built, and each part of your room, you are just mentioning each and everything, right? But at the first one, you are not take care about it. This is called declarative. This is called declarative, right? Where you are not take care about how this should be built, you're taking care of like the result of it, right? At last, you take care about 3 BHK buildings, only you're talking about, take care about, and the maybe color, right? You need this. You don't know how this room should be built and how many labor should be needed for to build this room. You're not take care about it, right? In the first scenario, you're not take care about it. So this is something which is called declarative way of writing code, right? This is something which is called declarative way of writing code. So how this is, like we'll talk about in code as well. But for now, let's just understand imperative and declarative. I hope this is clear, right? I hope this is clear. Okay. So now if this is clear, so the notes is given to you guys. So I just copy pasted a notes and paste it over here, right? Just copy pasted a code and paste it over here. Okay, cool. So I hope you guys can see the code, right? And this code, I think everyone know this code, how this code is working, and what are those code is, right? Simple JavaScript, nothing is there. Simple JavaScript. So let's just understand line by line, like what is there, what are the thing is there. Let's just understand line by line. Correct. So what we did over this line number 11, what we did, we just create an element. Right? So what we did at line number 12, we just store the text content, right? We just store the text content. Just store the text content. Maybe text content stored. And here what we did, We just mention the class name, right? Class name of this element, right? So this is what we did till now, correct? So now root element, you will see root element. So where this root element is, here we have a div tag which called id root, right? Inside this root, you just catch this root. For now, you just catch this root, get the root, root id, right? Let's say root id for now, or root element you can say, right? This is the element that you have. You're just catching this id. You need this element, right? And when you catch this id, you are just going to append the child inside this. You just append the element. Like which element? Append the element to the root, right? This is what you did. Here you had created an element, and that element you just need to render or append inside this your element, right? Inside your root element. So let's just open it in live server. You will see we'll got the output like something called carpeting, right? Okay, cool. So I hope this code is clear to everyone, right? I hope this code is clear to everyone. Okay, cool. Now, if this code is clear to everyone, so let's just understand in React how this will write the code, right? Will write the code. Okay. So I just copy pasted some code. The code is given to you guys. The code will be given to you. Okay. So don't you think as the story that we recently see at the story, like the building of house, right? Building of your own house or own room. So there you are mentioning each and every point, and other cases you are not mentioning each and every cases. You just need your house, right? This is what you are talking. You are take care about it. So here, can you just tell me like which method follows, like which way follows, like the first way or second way? Here you are mentioning each and everything, or you just take care about the output of it. Obviously, you're telling each and every point, right? Each and everything you need to mention. You mentioned. You mentioned here, right? Each and everything you mentioned. So this is nothing but imperative. Imperative way of writing code. Correct. Imperative way of writing code. Here, where you are mentioning each and every point, right? You mentioning what the element should be created, or the element needs to created, what the text content should be. You're just mentioning what the class name should be, right? And you are again catching the element, and then you can append the data, right? You will see each and every steps. You will just define this. Now in React, like forget about it, guys. Forget about this for now. Okay, forget about this one. So what I can do is I can remove this line. I can remove that line as well. And let's just understand this much part. So what this script tag is, first of all, this is the code of React. To use React, we should use this script tag. So what this script tag is. So I hope you guys used some npm packages, right? Let's say font awesome. Have you guys used this font awesome icons? Have you guys used this font awesome icons in your application in JavaScript? Have you guys used it? You used it. Some of you might used it, right? So to use this font awesome icon, how we use that? So first of all, we need to go this font awesome website, right? Font awesome website. There you can find a script tag, which is basically CDN, right? CDN is nothing but content delivery network, right? This script tag you need to put inside your HTML, maybe, right? Inside your HTML. Then only you can use the font. then only you are ready to use the font of this font awesome, right? Correct. So how this is happen, how you created this, right? Let's just understand how like once you import the script tag, how you use that basically. So this is nothing but someone created everything. Someone created a server. Let's say a server. Here it is the server, right? Here it is the server. Someone created the server. Inside the server, they mentioned each and everything. Like someone did the hard work, right? Someone did the hard work. Someone like created everything, each and everything. Now the method, the way of use that server is you don't want to create all of these things in your system, right? You don't want to create all of this in your system. What you need is you need to use that font awesome icon in your application. That is all you need. How you can use this? But if you don't want to create all of this server, all of this method again, right? So how you can create it? There is a script tag. There is a script. You just need to import that script in your application. You need to import that in your application. Once you are able to import it, then you are ready to use it. Then you are ready to use it. Correct. So this is how similarly here is the packages which we need to use in our application but for now we don't want it to install this all of this, right? We don't want it to do this. So later on you will see to using React we are going to install a package, right? Install a package, then you can use the React application. Basically the React application needs to only to install, right? There is some dependencies that you need to install in your application. But for now, we are just importing it and we can use it directly. We can importing it and we can use it directly. Okay. So let's just understand what this packages is. What this package is. You will see two packages mainly. You will see a React and ReactDOM. Correct. A React and ReactDOM. So what this React is? So first of all, the React is one package and another one is ReactDOM is another package. So these two packages you need to use while using React in your application. Correct. While using React in your application. Okay, cool. So if you know I need to use React, I should need these two applications. One is React, one is ReactDOM. Another one is ReactDOM, right? For now. Okay. So apart from this, one more library you need to use. Apart from this, one more library you need to use. So how this would be? So first of all, for now, let's just console this React and let's see what will be the output that we'll got, right? What will be the output that we'll got? You will see there is something called something error, right? Something error. So I just remove all of this. I just remove all of this and you will see React is there, right? Some kind of code is there, but don't care about the code. You will see, right? Don't care about the code. So similarly, if I console this React DOM, let's say, okay, then you will see another something code is written there, and you will see that output, right? You will see that output. So what the React is, okay? What the React is, okay. So now here you will see, as previously we checked that this is the method where you need to mention each and everything, and this is something which is the imperative way of writing code that you already seen, right? That you already seen. But here you will see we are just what we did is we are just take care about we are just define the class name. You will see the HTML, complete HTML, right? That you see. Why the class name? We will talk about later, little later. But we will give the output like this is the output that we need. But what this ReactDOM does, or this create root does, we'll talk about later. But we don't care about it. We don't care about it, right? We give a content to React, and React render that application. React show that particular output in the UI itself, right? In the UI itself. but we don't care about it. Right? So let's just write the code from the scratch so that you can understand how this code is working, right? How React is working. Okay. First of all, first thing is first. Let's just create a element. Let's just create an element. To create an element, how we can create an element in JavaScript? Simply document.create element, right? Simply as you did, right? But in React, the way is bit of different, right? Little bit of different. How you can see? Exactly similar. Oh, exactly similar. The way of writing code, create a element, exactly similar. But instead of document, here you need to use React. Here you need to use React and create element. Okay, create element. Inside this element, create element. This is the place where you can mention which tag you want to use. In JavaScript, we can mention only the tag, right? The tag name. But here we can mention, apart from tag, we can mention other thing as well. What are the things that you can mention? So this is the p tag. Let's say p tag I need to create, right? So p comma, and here is the curly braces. Inside this curly braces, we can mention like what the class name should be, what the children should be, what the children basically. What do you mean by children? So let's say create a p tag. Okay. Let's say I create a p tag, and here inside this p tag, let's say hello world. Right? Maybe hello world. I just write it. So this is the inner content of this or text content of this tag, right? P tag. So this is nothing but this hello world is nothing but a children. Hello world is nothing but a children. So here I just mentioned class name of it, right? Let's say class name is intro maybe. Okay? Anything that you can give. Anything. Now the children, we need to mention the children. Right? Children may be hello world, right? Hello world, we can put it. So why the class name? Why the class name? So in to put the class name in JavaScript in HTML CSS, we put class, right? And for ID, we just did ID, right? In HTML, how we put the class? Just by simply class, writing the class, right? But in React, you will see we put the class name, right? Why class name? Because in JavaScript, in JavaScript, class is a reserved keyword, right? Class is a reserved keyword. We can't use that, right? We can't use that reserved keyword. So to put the class, we should name it class name. So that is why class name is, right? To put the class name, we just put the class name over here. And then the children, right? So now you will see, before this, if you come here, and if I console the element maybe, okay? If I console the element, this one, right, that we had. So if I open the console, you will see in the console we have that element, right? We have that element. There is something called class, code, and carpet team, right? But in React, you will see if I console it, right? If I console it, let's see what we got. In console, you will see we got something called key of. I hope you will see the code, right? Something called key of, something called key, something called props. Inside this props, there you will find class name children, right? In children, something that we need to show inside this tag, right? This is the text, hello world, right? And the type of this is p tag, right? So no need to go into that much depth, but for now, this all thing that we have in this element, right? That you have in this element, correct? Guys, this much part is clear to everyone. So in JavaScript, you will see there is element is different, but in React also, there is element is different, right? Element is different. So if I need to render on this UI, how can I render this? How can I render? Here I have this root element, right? have this the root element. So let me create a root element maybe. Right. Now this time React dot create root. So how this create root? Why this is create root? So in React, basically in React, there is only one place where you can inside this place, whatever code or whatever things you have, you can put only this one place. You can put only this one place. Like it's like you have only one root, and from there itself you have might be tree, right? This way you might be have tree, right? Correct. But you have the root of this tree is only one plus, right? As you can think about in HTML, we have body tag, right? So whatever code you need to write, we need to write inside the body, correct? Then only the output should be shown on the UI, right? Similarly, but in React, it takes the root element, on element, which should have the ID, and that ID you need to catch. Okay, and you need to create that root. You need to create that root. From there, you need to show you are going to show all the element, whatever you're going to create, all the element you need to show on the UI. Correct. All the element you need to show on the UI. Okay. So now React.create element that we defined. Now the next thing is that we should catch that root, and there itself we can render that application, right? So let me create document.get element. How can catch it? Exactly same way, document.create element root, right? Similar, exactly same code that we have written over it. Now root element dot render maybe. Okay? Render, and which element we need to render? Let's say we need to render that element. Okay, that element. Okay, so here it is mentioned React.createRoot is not a function, right? So let's forget about it for now. So if I console this root element, let's see what we got. So root element is, we can't see anything, right? We can't see anything in root element. You will see the error over is, right? Okay. So now we have created successfully the element. Okay. And what this DOM is, we already know about React, right? The way of writing code is React, something called React. React is nothing. This React library is nothing. Okay. This is the library that we are using over here. This is nothing. This will take care how you write the code. Okay. How you write the code. How you write the code. So here you will see React.create element, React.create element, React.create root, right? All of this you just define it, right? All of this you just define it. So this is the code that you can write in React because of this React library, right? Now the next thing is that React DOM, right? What this React DOM is? React DOM, I think everyone know JavaScript, right? Real DOM or JavaScript DOM, right? JavaScript DOM. So there is something called React DOM. So React DOM is something, React DOM can show whatever code you are going to write. React DOM will show that element on the UI. React DOM will show that output on the UI basically. React DOM is responsible for that, right? As we have the real DOM, similarly we have React DOM. Okay, we have React DOM. How the React DOM is working, we'll talk about later. But for now, let's just understand React DOM is responsible to show the output on the UI. This is how the React DOM is responsible for, right? This is how the React DOM is responsible for. Okay, cool. So now, now if you understood it, if you understood how the React DOM is responsible for to show the output on the UI, and React is responsible for show the for writing the code, right? There is one more package that we need. There is one more package that we need. You will see, like at the end of the day, whatever code you are going to write, it will be compiled in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? Whatever code you are going to write, if you need to if you need to show that code on the UI on the browser, you should be use this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? Not used. Ultimately the code would be converted into HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? So, but here we have write this code. We have write this code in React. We create the root, but we are not able to render on the UI, right? Because whatever code you are going to write, this is not a normal JavaScript code, right? This is not a normal JavaScript code. So that's why you can't render it directly. To render this directly, we need a one more package which called Babel, right? Which called Babel. So how this Babel would be, right? So let me copy this and paste it that code over here, right? Okay, cool. So here you will see we have this React library and we have this ReactDOM library, right? And here we had created this ReactDOM.create element and we have this React root, right? We have created the root and we have catched that root ID. And here we rendering that element. You will see exactly same way, exactly same way we can render our application on the UI, right? This is the page that we have for JavaScript, and this is the React example, right? This is the React example. So if you console the element, you will see these are the element that you will got, right? So if you console the React root, you will see something called this kind of thing you will see, but don't care about it. We don't care about it, how this would be working and why this is working. But you will see here is the way to writing code in React, right? Internally React is working this way, right? Internally React is working this way. React is creative element this way. You can create another element as well. Let's say element 2, React dot maybe similarly create element, and this time maybe h1. Okay, anything you can create, and class name maybe hi. Okay, and children hello. Okay. So this you have element 2. So let's just render this element 2 on the UI. You will say hello. Correct. We'll see the output. Cool. So now, so this is the way to writing the code in React. This is the way to writing code in JavaScript, right? But still, for creating the element, we need to mention each and everything, right? We need to mention the class name. We need to mention the children. We are mentioning the create element. We're just creating the element, right? Everything we need to do this. But this is not, at least this is not a sufficient way to create an element, right? This is not the sufficient way to create an element. So why this React basically? So first of all, our main goal was to use the React is performance that we already seen, right? That you already seen. And the second one is declarative, right? Declarative. But here you will see again the code is not optimized, not like optimized more, right? So at least what we need is we need to create an element like this way. There should be a text, right? There should be a text, and there we can mention the maybe name and hi. Okay, class name, any class I will put, right? So this is the HTML kind of HTML that we need to write the code in React. So to use that, to create that way, we have something called, we have Babel, right? We have something called Babel. So what Babel does is, so let's say, let's open it and let me create an element. Let me create an element. So if I put that element inside this, you will see something error, you will see, right, on the UI. So React told that key or this element is, I don't know this element or this element is, right? I don't know this element. So you should use Babel for this. What Babel does is Babel transpile your this code, this much of code Babel will transpile, right? This much of code, like whatever code you're writing over there, this much of code Babel transpile. There is a package called Babel. Okay, there is a package called Babel. You need to use that Babel. Using that Babel, you need to transpile. The Babel will transpile your code into React or JavaScript. Okay, like this is the way of React, right? This is the way of React. React to Babel. Babel will transpile your code in that way, like create element, right? React.create element. React.create element. This way, Babel will transpile. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything. Babel will transpile your code, right? Babel will transpile your code. So for that, to use Babel, we should import our dependencies called Babel. So how this should be? So let me import the Babel first, the dependencies. It will be given on the notes itself. No need to worry about it. But still you will see, our code is not working. Why the code is not working? Because here we are not providing the type. This time we should provide the tool to the JavaScript, right? So there should be either text or Babel, right? If you provide this, then you will see the output is on the UI, correct? Output is on the UI. Babel will transfer your code and it will give it to the React. Now let's just console this element first and let's see what we got the UI. You'll see exactly whatever we got previously. Now also we can see the similar kind of element on the UI, right? Exactly same thing on the UI. We'll see, right? So this is what the Babel is. So there is one link is given to you, like how Babel works. If you guys wanted to try, you can try it. The Babel link, like the website, I'll show you how you can use that. Yeah, there you will see. So if you open that link, you will see. If you open that link, let's copy this code and let's paste it over here. If you paste it here, you will see this is how your code is working. There is something called class name and children, right? The exactly same thing will show on the UI, right? On the Babel. So Babel, you transpile this code to this code. Babel will transpile your code like a React way of writing code to like normal create element or JavaScript way. React will transpile your code, right? So this is how Babel. I hope till now, I hope everything is clear. So now I'm going to take the doubts. Like if anyone have any doubt till now, I'm going to take that only, right? Okay, cool. So now if you don't have any doubts, what you can do is we can remove all of this. We can remove all of this. So previously what we did, we just create the element like this one, right? So don't you think we can create a function? We can create a function and we can, in this function, we can write whatever we need to write. We can write hello world. Okay. And here also we can put the class name of, right? Class name maybe hi. Okay. And can we use that element in our rendering methods at the time of rendering? You'll see we can't see the output. So can you tell me like why this is not showing, why this code is not showing in the UI? Like what is the error that you like see? Okay, to function. Okay, so if I remove this and if I don't make it the function, if I don't make it the function, let's say if I make it this, right? Now also it should working fine, right? Not also it should working fine. Correct? It should working fine. Cool. So instead of this, if we define a function, this is the arrow function, right? This is the arrow function that we return. So this is the function. If you define a function, we should call that function, right? Like this is how we can call this function. You will see now the output is showing on the UI, right? Now the output is showing on the UI. So this is a function. To define the function, we should call this function. So that is why we call this function over here, and when this call this function is returning that much of its HTML, and we can show that HTML on the UI, right? So this is nothing but this is called JSX. You can, if you wanted to put ID over there, if you wanted to put ID over there, you can put the ID like this way, right? Maybe quote, you will see the ID over there, right? So if I hover on it, element, okay. So let me increase that. Yeah, you will see there is a root tag, right? There is a root tag. Inside this root tag, you will see something called class name hi and ID code, right? The text inside this root element, you will see, right? This script tag is added, and here you will see the here you will see the JSX over here, right? This is written over there. Okay, cool. So now, if we understand this, so let me create a example 2 maybe. HTML and paste it. Okay. So now this package will be remain same. We are not going to change this package, but we can't change it, right? We can't change it because to use React, we should need these three packages, right? Okay, cool. So now, if we write this element like this way, internally this will convert it into this React.create element, right? React.create element, correct? So now let's just create a variable. Let's say as previously we did a variable, right? Variable, let's say name. A name, let's say React lecture, right? Lectures. So how can I use that name variable inside? This ultimately this is a JavaScript, right? Whatever you are going to write inside this script tag, this is JavaScript. So I should need this name. I should reuse that name. So how can I reuse that name? Directly by passing this name. Directly by passing this name. Achha. So, uh, so directly passing by name, can I use this? Can I use this? So let me open it in live server. You'll see. We'll find it. We'll see the name only. Whatever things you're going to pass inside this HTML, this is a div, right? This is the HTML. Whatever thing you will pass inside this is expected as a string, right? This is expected as a string. But you should told to the JavaScript, to the React ultimately. You should told that okay, this is not a string. This is a variable that I need to use. How you can use it? Just directly put inside this curly bracket. Inside this curly bracket, you will see. Inside this curly bracket, you can see this text on the UI. You will see this text on the UI. Correct. This text on the UI. So this is nothing but this is the interpolation. This is called interpolation. So the naming by interpolation, don't think about too much technical. This is just a naming convention of it, but no need to go in that much of depth, right? No need to go in that much of depth. This is the just simple naming convention, right? So similarly, as we created the name, similarly, can we create a age? Let me create a age. Let's say 22. Can I render that age along with this name? So let me put the name Debu. Okay, let's make it my name. Okay. So can I use that age inside this? How can I use it? Can I use put this comma? You'll see it will give you the error, right? It will show only the last thing. If you hover on it, you will see something error is there, right? The last thing is last parameter is showing on the UI. This is not expected, right? So how can you use it? The first way that you can use, you guys know the backtick, right? You guys know the backtick. So first of all, inside this backtick, we can put the dollar, and there you can put the first parameter that you need to use, and second again dollar, and then you can use the age. This is the way that you can use. You will see the output. And here also we can mention the name, maybe name Devo, and here comma age is this, right? You'll see this kind of, right? And there is another way that also to write the same code. There is another way how this way should be. Let's say name, okay? And here again you can put a curly bracket, and here you can show that name, show that age. Sorry, you'll see, right? Whatever method you find easy, you can use it. You can use it absolutely fine. No issue with that, right? The code is converted. How this code will be converted? This code will be converted basically ultimately the same way as previously we did. This code will be converted. Cons, let's say element react dot create element, and inside this create element we have this div, right? And there any class name is mentioned. Yeah, there is class name mentioned. So class name is nothing but hi, and here we have something called id also. Id you can mention id code, right? And here is something also you can mention the children over like this way, right, as well. So let's say name, right? Name. This is how your code should be, right? Element 2 maybe, right? This is a similar code. Similar code. This code is converted into in this one. This code is converted into this one. Like internally Babel, this is how internally Babel converted, right? Internally, this is how Babel converted. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to take the doubts. If people have any doubt, else I am going to move forward. So let's create an example 3 to write our next example, to see our next example. Okay. So now this time the example is about closing tag, self closing tag, self closing tags. Okay. So in JavaScript, how you write the image tag, img tag, right? This time the image tag should be self closing. This is called self closing, like not this one. Img, like previously we did might be write like this way, but for now we are going to write this way from now onward. In JavaScript, in React, we are going to write the image like this way. Okay, we are going to write the image like this way. Let's make it in bracket. Yeah. So let me use a image. Let me put use the image of Airbnb maybe. Okay. So copy the image address, and here we need to use src. Oh, and we have also alt tag, right? img maybe, right? So let's see the output of it. There is the this is unit 2. Yeah, here you'll see the output we got, right? You'll see the self-closing tags, right? Now, okay. So now the next part is event handler, right? So have you guys know about event? What are the event you guys know? What are the event you guys know? So in JavaScript, you might use some event listener, right? You already used some event listener. So there is some on click, right? On change, right? These are the event on change, on mouse. Okay, like all of this on mouse over. So there is a lot more events that you already used, right? So similarly in React also we have the same kind of event. We have the same kind of event. Now let's say create an element, and inside this element, let's create a button maybe, okay, to see the event. So button and button. Yep. Okay. So now we are using that button, right? Using that button. So we have that button as well. So what I need is when I click on this button, the what can I say? The message or popped up should be shown. The alert should be shown, right? The alert should be shown. So how can I create this? How can I create this? Exactly to put the handle click, right? Okay. So to put the handle click, how can put it? So when you click on this button, then should be the output should be shown, right? That means the on click event I need to put. So how can put on click? This is how I can put this on click event, right? This will take an object. So on click, the spelling is on, and then C should be capital. You will see C should be capital. This is how on click is defined. Now here I can put any function name maybe, right? Handle maybe click, right? And here I can define that function handle click. And this is the function arrow function, right? This is nothing but an arrow function. I hope everyone know that arrow function, right? Everyone know that arrow function. So here, this is the function name that I used over there. And I just put an alert, maybe uh, welcome to React course. Okay. So this is the alert that I need to show. So let's click on it. Let's click on it. You will see the alert, right? When you click on it, you will see the alert. Correct? Okay, cool. So this is the function, but why don't we call this function? Why don't we call this function? So if I call this function, this is a simple JavaScript. If you call this function will be called again and again, right? Because this element I shown already on the UI, right? This element I already shown on the UI. So whenever this element will be rendered, this time also this function will be called. But I don't want this kind of behavior. What kind of behavior I want is when I click on this button, then function should be called, right? Then the function should be called. So that is why I just directly call this function like this way, right? When I hit a click on this on click event, then the alert should be called, or this handle click function should be fired, right? So let's say you need to function me. I like usually we receive some parameter, right? Let's say name. You need to show that name as well. Let's say here you might show that name, right? So how can show the name? Directly by name, right? You can show the name. When you click on this name, whatever parameter you will going to receive, that parameter will show on the alert, right? So, but here we calling that function, but we are not passing any parameter, right? So how can you pass that parameter? Can you pass this parameter like this way? Let's say Ram Lal. Can you pass this parameter like this way? You can't pass it, right? Because whenever this application will be rendered, at this time this will be again rendered. This will be again shown. How can show this? To show this, we just put like the callback function over here. We just put this. This is a callback function, right? We just need to put a callback function, and once this on click is fired, then this handle click will be fired or will be called. So this is how it should be. You will see now you can't see any output. If I call it, and then you will see a Ramlal, right? You will see Ramlal. But why don't we see any other text as well? Because let me put inside this backtick, and here also I just put the name of it, and here just put close the backtick. Yep. You will see if I click on it, Ramlal, welcome to the React course. Correct. If I click on it again, you will see this output. Guys, any confusion till now? Any confusion till now? Okay. Cool. So if you don't have any confusion, let's move ahead quickly and let's see like how this would be done. Okay. How the next topic is. Okay. So now we have this handle click, right? We have that handle click. We have this handle click over here. Now, apart from handle click, let's say maybe I need to put the class name, right? I need to put the class name, maybe on click or alert button, right? I need to put the ID as well. Button name is ID, right? Button name is ID. So all of this we have put it over here, right? We have put it over here. So if I copy it, if I cut it, and if I make it declare a variable, let's say const props, okay, and if I put a object over here, but why this object would be error? Why this object is showing error? Because I want to put inside on object only. So this is showing error. Yeah, exactly. So here we can't put the equal to. We should put object should be key value pair, right? We should put this key value pair. But still you will see the error. Still, acha, let me put a comma. Yeah, now you will see the error, right? Because whenever you put in object, don't put this curly bracket, right? Don't put this curly bracket for on click. On click, you can write it directly. But this props we should use in this button, right? How can I use this? Just simply put this curly bracket and spread that props. Whatever props element are there, you just spread that props. All the properties should be implemented to this button. Now, if you click on this button, you will see exactly same behavior. You will see. If you inspect it, you will see the class ID. All are you can see the this tag element, right? This is all is implemented. Okay, any confusion in it? Any confusion? Okay, cool. So let's move ahead quickly. What we can do is we can create another file called example4.html and paste it. Yep. Okay. So now we already seen this kind of behavior, right? This kind of use cases of it. So let me remove all of this. Let me remove the button as well. So let's say I need to show the multiple element. Let's say here I have this button. Here you have this might be element 2 and element 3, right? Here might you have div. Here you have p tag. Let me put a p tag, and here you have div, right? Here you have button. Okay. P tag. This is the React first lecture. Element to React intro and button. Okay. So now my task is to show all the. Okay, just remove all of this previous. My task is to show all the element at a time. All the element at a time. How can I show this? All the element at a time in the show. Any idea? Can I use this element 2, element 3? Can I use this? If I use it, then I will see the output is remains here. Right? Only the first element is considered. So how can I use this? To use this, let's say I have created the maybe E element, okay, ELEM. Now here, what I can do is something called React.fragment. Okay, React.fragment. So what that React.fragment is? Okay, so forget about React.fragment. For now, I just use this div over here. Okay. So can I use this element inside this element on? It should be curly bracket, right? We should tell to the JavaScript, this is the JavaScript element. So consider as a JavaScript element, right? Now we can use that element in our rendered part. Now you will see the three things that we can directly see, right? That we can see. Element 2, maybe H1, maybe put. Okay. Now you will see three element that we already have in body. If I expand it, if I expand the script tag, you will see these three elements that I have, right? Cool. Now, but you will see inside this, oh, not script tag, sorry. In this root tag, you will see there is a div, right? Inside this div, you have these three element, correct? So let's say if I put react dot fragment, react dot fragment, and if I use that react dot fragment, so put the closing bracket as well, and refresh the page. Let's see what are the changes that can be shown over here, right? Okay, so it should be react dot fragment. React, oh, react dot fragment. Okay. So it just misspell the fragment. Now you will see if I save it, you will see the same output, exactly same output you will see on the UI, right? But if I increase that root, just increase the root, you will see inside this root we have this three element, right? But previously it was the div, right? Inside this root we had a div, and inside this div we had this three element. But for now you will see this three element that we have, the p tag, h1 tag, and button. You'll see directly on the inside this root, right? So that means it will not consider as a space. It will not take as a space. Not taking any spaces. Okay. This is why we are using this React.fragment. Nothing but like there is another shortcut of this React.fragment. But for now, if you remove this, okay. So let me show you the shortcut of it. You can put this empty fragment as well. No need to write it. No need to write React.fragment. If you use this empty fragment, the output will be remain exactly same. You will see inside this root you have these three things, right? There is a no space. So this is only possible with React. Okay, React gives you that advantage. React gives you that advantage. Okay. So now any confusion in it? If you don't have any confusion, so let me open that, create another file, HTML5, and paste it. Okay. Now we had this, all of this element we have, right? So how can I style our element basically, right? So let me for p tag, I need to put a style. As usual, how we can put the style in HTML? Simply style, right? But in JavaScript, we are putting everything in an object, everything in an object format, right? Here is the object format, object way, right? So how I can define the color? So if I put the color is red, then you will see we can't see any output, right? So this styles only take a object, only take a object. So if I put a object, you will see output is gone. The error is gone, right? Now if I put red to it, you will see the color would be red should be applied. So if I open it in live server, you will see the color is applied, right? The color is applied. So how this is happened? Okay, let me create another styles object, and yeah, there you go. Styles object I just created. And if I pass the styles object over here, you will see the output is even same, right? So let me be font weight bold maybe, okay? And if you put it, then you will see the exactly same output, right? So similarly, I can put styles over this h1 tag as well. Let me put the background color. Background color maybe crimson. Okay. You will see background color is applied, right? This is how you can style that React element. You can style that React element. Correct. You can use an object. Okay. You can create an object to style it, or you can make it inline style. This is how inline style would be, right? You can put a multiple property to it as well. Let maybe color. This time color is white, right? Okay. So yep, there you will say color is white. So whatever the output you, whatever the styles you need, let maybe padding, and padding maybe 4 pixel. Yeah, padding should be applied 4 pixel. Yep, sorry, 4 pixel. There you go. The padding is already applied. So this is how you need to style that application. So now at last, let me combine whatever we taught till now. Oh, sorry. Let me combine all of this together again. Okay. So we had created the components, we have created components, we have created the elements, and we just rendered that element in a fragment. We styled it, right? We styled it like this way, and we can render this, right? So previously, as we had the on click button, right? Here we had the on click event. So let me copy this alert. Maybe I wanted to show only alert, right? So how can I show that alert only on this button click? So I just put a on click button. Okay. And inside this on click button, I just again put the callback function, and here I can pass whatever the operations I need to perform, right? You can put the multiple operation as well. Let's say while click on this handle click, you need to put some console, you need to show some console. So console.log, let me button click, and then alert, right? Okay, so if you click on it, the alert should be shown, and the button, it should be printed on the button clicked, right? So this is how you can also define the element. So if I define the element at inside this element only, so instead of element, if I put this p tag instead of this h1, if I put this h1 tag, and instead of button, if I put this h button, yeah, there you will see I just remove this all. There you will see here is the p tag, here is the h1 tag, whatever we had previously. Here now I have the button tag. So everything is remain same. I just put inside this, right? I just put inside this. Correct. The output will be remain same. Whatever you did, the output will be, everything will be remain same. I hope you guys understood till now. And thank you. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.